Hey, what's up guys, Benny here, and the Haunting Halloween event has arrived, bringing with it a brand new SMG to Warzone, the LAPA, and this thing is overpowered. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how to unlock it in the quickest time possible, the best class setup, and also break down some gameplay with it so you can see how good it actually is, because the time to kill on this thing, especially with the best build, is incredible. The only downside is potentially the iron sights, but that's just going to take some getting used to, but it is so much fun to use. Also potentially a great sniper support SMG as well. But first of all, right, the description of the gun: it's a full auto submachine gun, lightweight prototype with reliable damage and good firing control. Very true. The recoil is very, very easy to use. It's just that iron sight, as I said, that could potentially be a problem. It's got improved handling and range with a slower fire rate. Now, there are some attachments that are going to increase that fire rate, which I'm just about to go into. But first of all, I'm going to tell you how to unlock it. Now, to unlock it, what you have to do is do all the quests in the haunting event. So if you complete all the challenges, you unlock the LAPA. There's also a blueprint for it if you want it, which is a pretty good build as well. But play 5 matches in the Ghost of Verdansk. That's pretty standard to do this. The hardest one is probably earn a top 10 final placement with your squad in the Ghost of Verdansk players 3 times. Now, if you're doing this, one of the biggest things I would advise is when you're the ghost, don't go for kills. Just make sure that you kind of pick up the orbs that other players drop, and just avoid fights, and you get back into the game a lot easier, and you can consistently get into the end game then. Eliminate 10 enemy ghosts, pretty easy. Just kind of like hold off one of the the zones that are around the map, which are called the sacred ground locations. Pretty obvious on the mini map. Stay in there, ghosts can't come into them, and you can just gun them down there. It's really actually quite helpful. Then eliminate 10 enemy humans, pretty standard, easy to get. Eliminate 5 enemy humans while playing as a ghost. This one, best thing to do is join a game, pancake, and get people before they get their loadouts. Easiest time to do it. Make sure you use a combination of your abilities as well. Boo, as a ghost, redeploys your operator by collecting 3 souls. That's pretty easy to do. 3 sacred grounds, answer 3 phones. They're just dotted around the map. You'll hear them ringing. Just go up to them, press X, and then experience 3 hallucinations. This pretty much just happens as you get to end game. And we did this in around an hour to unlock the weapon. It's not the fastest weapon unlock, but it is definitely worth it. Now let's go on to the best class setup. From what I've done, I've leveled it up to pretty much max, and tried it. For the muzzle, you're going to want that sound suppressor. The reason I do that is it's the same for most of my SMGs in Warzone. I really want to have that aim down sight speed, bullet velocity, and sprint to fire. And compared to the agency, I don't kind of get as many negatives where you're kind of slowing your aim walking steadiness, your aiming stability. You get more bounce on your shot. It's not as easy to use, and you definitely don't need that. So sound suppressor all the way. Now, the most interesting thing with the LAPA is actually the rifle attachments. Now, a lot of SMGs at the moment, you don't actually use a barrel because it doesn't necessarily help that much. However, these actually increase your fire rate and your damage output. So the rifled barrel, which is the second last one, is actually going to give you the fastest time to kill potential. The BR Compact also does very similar, taking out the horizontal recoil control, but it drops your fire rate, so you're not going to get the maximum TTK. So from what I've tried, I've gone through and tested everything so far, done fire rate on the MO3, the 7.9 rifled gives you the fastest time to kill, and that effective damage range and bullet velocity doesn't really matter as an SMG. So it's just kind of like an all-round win. And I'm looking forward to trying this, because if you remember the Milano setup, this is what I'm going to actually have when I'm using it as a sniper support weapon. You can kind of almost make this into a mini assault rifle. Then we've got the bruiser grip for that faster movement speed and hip fire accuracy. We've got the Stagnag 50-round mag in there, and then the SAS combat stock. Now, if you don't want the extra movement speed, you can drop the bruiser grip and put a rear grip for the serpent wrap on there. Or if you hate the iron sights, what I would recommend is actually get rid of that bruiser grip, drops your movement speed and hip fire a little bit, but then put on the microflex LED. Still very usable. I just kind of like having that bruiser to get around the map a little bit more. But what I want to do now is go ahead and break down some gameplay and really show off the LAPA, because it is overpowered. Now, a couple of things worth mentioning right off the rip is definitely talking a bit about the barrels, because right here I'm using that rifle barrel, which gives me the highest time to kill potential because of the higher fire rate, because of that increase of fire rate, though it's definitely requires a little bit more skill to use. The BR compact barrel has slightly higher chest damage, which gives you one less bullet to kill, to be precise. So if you're not as accurate and you're not getting your headshots as consistently, that might perform better for you. You're also not going to burn through your ammo as quickly. But for me, I really like the high fire rate. It gives you a bigger margin for error as well, because I think so much is looked into as going like, these stats give you the fastest time to kill, but it doesn't take into account the actual behavior of the gun. And right there, that high fire rate allows me to jump in, get this finish off right here, and I just wait for this little push. 14 bullets still, able to get that down. Shay's backing me up massively right here, and just like kind of helping me show off the gun a little bit as well. Push in, pick that kill as well, and you can see the pacing with the LAPA, and it's so nice that the final weapon being added in Black Ops Cold War before Vanguard is such a good SMG, because the weapons in Season 6, to be perfectly honest, have been such a disappointment. The Grav and the Ironhide shotgun have been dreadful. This is actually a top tier meta SMG, and it is very, very fun to use. Right here, like perfect for these close range engagements. I think there's also a lot of potential options that you can have depending on your playstyle with this SMG. If you like having a mid to like a sniper support weapon, you could go put a sight on it as well. But right here, I'm just kind of going like kind of, you know, pedal to the metal, running at people, close range encounters. And you see what I mean by the iron sight. It's very, very difficult to be precise, because if you're strafing with this, the kind of the bits on the side of the sight kind of go into your view and kind of obscure it a little bit, which means that you can't make those micro adjustments and see like the little bits of movement that a player's making, so you can ensure that you're hitting your headshots. And that's one thing to think about as well when using this SMG. Make sure you're taking full advantage of that rotational aim assist if you're playing on a controller. So constantly be using your left stick to help you aim, move like going left and right. That's going to help you center those crosshairs and pick those headshots up a lot easier. Just like I'm doing here. You'll never see me stand still and shoot. It's always kind of like a duck left, right, left, right. It's just how kind of Call of Duty aim works. I don't know why it's the case. The hip fire is also pretty nice, but that ADS time is pretty much instant, so it's very, very snappy. Constantly looking at my mini-map as well to just try and make sure that I'm not wiping squads there, knowing that one of their teammates is away, and get into the habit of using a loadout like that. That is the speed you should grab a loadout. And grabbing tempered as well helps so much in rebirth. Just a little thing I should be talking about. But at range, 15 plus meters is when you get the second damage profile with this gun, it's pretty good. There isn't a third damage drop off like you have with weapons like the OTS, so it's going to work quite nicely here. Going down into decon, pushing forward. Sadly, there's so many opportunities that I could have got a lot more kills here, but I just kind of just a little bit too late. Push forward, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is how nice it is, and just, you know, missed a couple shots, but managed to finish it off with the amp pistol, get the finishes off, and then thankfully Shay and Jaff are both very, very kind enough to give me a bit of extra SMG ammo, because I completely ran out as I push into this building with these guys. So many people in this area. I'm like, are they above? Are they below? I think there was a team on the roof and a team down below. I hear a res, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to start heading down to pick up these kills. Pretty much where the last final fight is, on 25 kills. Get that one. And he just, once again, this is what I'm talking about. Just missed out on that kill. But really nice. Once again, those pings really help. Able to push forward here, take down this guy pushing across from the left. And this is where the LAPA really excels. Like, I don't think there's a better SMG now in the game at those kind of distances, because I think you're getting a range between like a 320 ms time to kill if you're hitting all headshots to around a 636 at a distance, which is very, very good for an SMG. And like I said, there's no recoil, very easy to control as long as you can kind of get used to the iron sights. Lots of people running at me. Running out of ammo seemed to be my problem today, but, you know, just missing those shots, cracking armor, And once again, I'm like, please give me some ammo as we max rank the LAPA as well in the final fight. Push across. I'm making a little bit of an error here. This guy pushes across and I just missed that that final shot to get that finish. And I get pulled into this fight and like I put myself in no man's land here. Dip out and get taken out from the other angle. But thankfully, we've got Quicker Than You who's able to kind of clear up and just kind of secure the dub. But definitely go ahead, give the LAPA a go, unlock it. It doesn't take very long, but it is an incredible SMG, and I had an absolute blast using it, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm quite excited because it's the best SMG that they've added into the game in a long time. Kind of reminds me of when they added the Mac 10. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I hope that class setup helped you as well and the gameplay breakdown. And I will see you tomorrow for more Call of Duty Warzone. Thanks for watching.